After years of saving, I finally managed to escape the city and move back to Wales where I was born. Instead of a tiny balcony attached to a flat and an allotment down the road, I now live in a house where my outdoor space is 5 fields and a stretch of woodlands along a beautiful river. So join me on this adventure as I try to turn these 8 acres into a wildlife haven where I grow my own food, medicine and craft supplies. I'm Samina and welcome to my messy plot. I'm going on a little quest today. So for the past couple of days I've been just planting bare root hedging all day long. And today it's just wet, it's miserable. I really don't want to just carry on doing that job because it's really hard to do it. The ground is so waterlogged. When you dig the spade, when you put the spade in, it just sticks there. It's really hard to get it back out. So anyway, I'm going to flip you around quickly and show you something. So can you see off over there, can you see these sort of reddish, they're not red, but it's a reddish brown kind of thicket over there. I think that's blackthorn. And if it's blackthorn, I'm hoping it has sloes. So I'm going to go down there and see if I can get some. The only trouble is there's a fence there, so I can't get in that way. So I'm going to head back this way, and there's a gate to get to the woodlands that runs along the river. So I'm going to see if I can sort of work my way through. I've never been there before, so we are exploring new territory. I don't know if I'll even be able to get there, to be honest. There are some places that I've wanted to go but haven't been able to because the overgrowth is just too much. So if I can't get through, then at least I'll know what tools I need to come back with. Maybe on another day when it's not so miserable. But anyway, let's do a little recce and see what needs doing. I'll flip you around so you can see where we're going. It's really slippy here. It was my own fault because when we cut a path here, I didn't collect the plant material that we cut, and a lot of it was plantain. So let me show you. This is plantain here. It's a very common weed, but it's really good medicinally for lots of different things. In particular, what I use it for is to make a balm, which is really good for insect bites or stuff like that. But the problem is that, not the problem, the thing with the leaves is there's a lot of, they're very mucilaginous basically, so they go gooey, which is great for the medicinal properties, but not so good for if you leave it on a path and need to walk on it because it's all slippery. Hang on, I'm just trying to get through the brambles. I don't know if you can see the river down there. It's flowing really fast because we've had a lot of rain. God, the ground's very soft here. Right. So, I reckon if we go this way, I don't think I've ever brought you this way before, have I? We've gone the other way through the other gate, but not this way. Oh, this branch is a lot lower than it normally is. I do worry when I pass under this because it's, oh, hang on, let me duck. It's a bit wobbly. All right, so there's the fence just there that goes to the field. So I reckon if I go that way, can I see a clearing through the thicket? Let's go through here. These branches don't look particularly thorny. I wonder what this is. Look, that's quite a nice, and look at it, it's green now. And we've had snow and it's lovely and green. I'm going to take a bit, see if I can identify it. Stick it in my pocket. Be interesting to find out what that is. Ah! Oh God, some of this ground is far too soft. Right, where are we going? Let's go this way. I duck under all these branches. Oh gosh. Yeah, this probably wouldn't be easy to get through in the summer. Obviously you can do it now because there's no leaves. Right. Okay, let's go along the fence. Ew. Look at that. That's disgusting. Yuck. I wonder how that stuff forms. Right. Oh, I really hope I'm not stepping on any. I hope there's no hedgehogs in these things here. And one good thing, I suppose, is that when the guy who had this place put this fence up after he bought these 2 back fields, he didn't put barbed wire. You know, very often the top wire is barbed wire. He didn't do that. So I've got something to hold on to. Okay, here we are. I can't see any fruit. Oh, this is very disappointing. I wonder what that little indentation is. Has someone had a snuggly little bed in there? Anyway, I can't see any fruit. I can't see a single fruit. I can see the vicious thorns though, so this is definitely blackthorn. Do you think the birds have taken it all already, or maybe it didn't fruit? Oh, that's annoying. That is really quite annoying. Well, I'm quite disappointed at that. If you know anything about blackthorn, and you go slow picking yourself, I'm pretty sure they're ripe in the autumn. Have I left it too late? I mean, it's the beginning of December now. Maybe they all get taken. But I would have expected some to be still on the bush. I'm really disappointed and not able to make sense of it. Okay, I'm back now at the low-hanging branch. So I thought while I'm here, do you want to have a look over there a little bit and see, well, a bit of the woodlands? But first, does anyone know what this leaf is? Because there are a few trees and all these leaves have dropped, and I don't know what they are, so I wanted to see if you could help me identify them. Right, let me turn you around. So over here, God, the river is so gorgeous. I love it so much. I really need to cut there's loads of barbed wire here. Just loads of it everywhere. I need to cut this all back. Or not back, but you know, get rid of it. So we're not going to be able to walk up very far because there are 2 areas here where they're very wet, and there must have been a wooden walkway, like a bridge, built over both of them at some point, but they've rotten, and where they've rotted, they've kind of sunk down to the ground, and they're causing a bit of a dam. So I'll need to come over here. It's just not a priority at the moment. You know, we're still trying to sort out things in the house and still trying to get our old house ready to be on the market and all of that. But once we've got a bit of time, I'm going to come over here. Oh, here's one. Okay, so, oh God, this is very wet. So can you see that water there? So basically there is a bridge here. This is one side of it, and the other side is here, and there are, you know, planks of wood going along, but it's all rotted and it's sunk down, so it's actually causing more of an issue with wetness. And I think during the summer I was able to walk over it, but I don't think I'm going to be able to now because it's just too soft and too deep. But yeah, in theory you can walk all the way down there towards one of the boundaries of my property and then come back up into the last field through a gate. Sorry, I keep getting distracted by this river. It's one of the reasons why we bought this house. God, I wish though, I've never seen it where the river isn't the boundary. So the river the river is on my neighbour's land, so he owns the land that the river's on and a tiny sliver on my side. Well, it's not my side of the river because the river's not mine at all, but do you know what I mean? Very often all the other houses that we saw, if there was a river that was on the boundary was always kind of halfway across the riverbed, but not here. He owns the whole riverbed and a little sliver on the other side of it. which I find really annoying and which I didn't really know, if I'm honest, when we saw it, because it said partial river boundary. Well, it's not a river boundary. Anyway, look at all this moss. Look at that. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so I am going to go, let me turn you around. I'm going to go back to the house now, but it's actually raining, so as soon as I get out from under the tree canopy, it's going to start getting very wet. So I'm going to put my equipment in my pockets and hope for the best. Oh, I was really hoping that this was going to be my first harvest from this place. You know, these sloes. I was going to make sloe gin. But yeah, before I turned the camera back on, I went round the other side of that impenetrable thicket just to have a look if there were any there. But no, so I'm going to go back to the house. I'm going to do a little bit of research. You see, I did plant a blackthorn at my allotment, and the first time it fruited, it only had a few tiny little fruits on it. But they were still there at Christmas time, I think. So, I don't know. Okay, I'm back in the house and I've been trying to identify this leaf. So, I think that it's actually sweet chestnut. That one there, because it says that the leaves are 25 centimetres long, and that is probably not 25 centimetres, but they're young trees, so I reckon that is sweet chestnut, which is crazy considering I'm waiting on an order of bare root trees and sweet chestnut is among them. I didn't know I already had it. A lot of that woodlands was kind of impenetrable in the summer, so I couldn't go in and have a look and see what everything was like. But anyway, so that's that. And then I was trying to have a look at, this weed, trying to figure out what it was. Sorry, I don't know if that is in focus. Anyway, so I had a look in this book. So it's Herbs and Healing Plants, and this one, Wild About Weeds. But it wasn't in either of those. The reason I was looking in them is I've got this plant app. It's called PlantNet, I think. And it gave me several options, and I couldn't figure out whether it was this one, which was Baby's Tears, because it looks very similar to that, or if it was this first one up here, which is Opposite Leaved Golden Saxifrage. But I think on reading the description on Wikipedia of both plants, I don't think it is this Baby's Tears, because it says that it's commonly grown as a house plant, and I have had this as a house plant before, and these leaves are absolutely tiny, like I would say. So you see, you've got the bigger leaves here. The biggest leaf on the Baby's Tears, if I'm thinking of the right plant, is probably the size of this top one here, whereas obviously you can see that a lot of the leaves are much bigger. So yeah, I don't really, well, has anyone got any ideas? Yeah, this is the photo of the one I took. See, it's got these hairy leaves. Anyway, I'm still really disappointed about them sloes. So I read up about them as well when I got back in the house. And it does say that they're at their best to pick in kind of late November to sort of up to mid-December, because you've had your first frosts by then, and that makes them sweeter, better to use. It's the same with anything that you want to use to make things like syrups or anything. So if you want to make rosehip syrup, or what else can I think of? Well, nothing's coming to mind, but you generally wait until the frosts, and then it kind of softens them a bit. But those trees were absolutely bare. Anyway. I'll see you again next time.